Welcome back to another Film Geek Movie review. Today, after the old day job, I am off to check out the new movie, Eden. Eden is directed by Ron Howard and is starring Vanessa Kirby, Jude Law, Sydney Sweeney, and Ana de Armas. It tells the story of a group of settlers who decide to settle on this island because they just kind of had their fill of society. And of course, things don't necessarily go as planned in these types of situations, and they don't really go as planned in this situation either. What's really interesting about this movie is it is based off of true events. And I really don't know much about this whole situation, so I'm really interested in finding out some more. So you know what? It is enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to get to the old day job, and then I'm off to check out Eden. Welcome back, just getting home from Eden, and guys, you know what, I did like this movie, but there are some things I would like to talk about. So let's get this started, shall we? We're going to get things started with negatives, then move into the positives, to end the video on the ever so important high note. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the pacing of this film. Now this movie comes in at about 2 hours and 6 minutes, and let me tell you guys, you definitely feel it, especially that first hour. The pacing in the first hour moves very, very slow. And this isn't necessarily what I would consider a slow burn, because the thriller aspects of this movie pretty much just show up after that first hour, and then things start to get into a little bit more of a psychological, twisty type of area, but nothing ever really dives into what I would say is a definite thriller for a film like this. It was very intriguing, and there are some suspenseful moments, but in all, at no point in time did I really feel like, that whole overwhelming feeling of dread or anything like that. The movie wasn't trying to scare me by any means, but you know what I'm talking about when it comes to thrillers, how you always have that feeling of suspense and tension. And in this film, there are moments of that, but in all honesty, I would actually call this movie more of a dramatic thriller. Even though there are elements there, most of this film really relies on the storytelling and the actors. The acting is fine, the storytelling is okay, but I really feel like this movie could have been shaved down just a little bit. It comes in, like I said, just over 2 hours. And to be perfectly honest, this movie probably should have only been in the 130 to 145 area. I'll actually say 145 to be perfectly honest, because there is some intriguing stuff in that first hour, and it does set everything up, and we get to know our characters a bit more during that time. It's just that it really plods along for a little bit too. The tone in this film is a little wackadoodle. It kind of moves all over the place, and a lot of that has to do with Ana de Armas' character, but I think that's just her character and the way this person was, so I don't necessarily know if that's anything to do with it. It's just that things do seem to kind of go into a little bit of a campy realm in that second half of the film. Not that it's unwelcome, because to be perfectly honest, you get to a point where you're just about to boredom, and then finally the movie shifts, things start to get a little bit more backstabby, you might say, and more intriguing. We start getting some more suspenseful moments and all, and the story itself starts to actually widen out, and we get to learn a lot more of what's going on this island and why everybody's here in the first place. But it takes so long getting there, and to be perfectly honest, it doesn't necessarily feel like a slow burn, because it's not like it's building to something huge. It's just building a story and then it goes. So if you're looking for a really tense knuckle biter type of thriller, you're probably not going to find a whole lot in this, but if you want to watch a really well acted thriller-ish drama, then you're probably going to really enjoy this movie. So let's get into those positives, shall we? The first thing I want to talk about is the acting. I really thought that all of the actors in this film did an excellent job keeping you entertained and in the moment. All of the characters, all of the actors do a great job delivering their characters and everything. All the performances are solid. But if I had to pick out one actor that I would say I really enjoyed, honestly, it's Ana de Armas, because she really owned it in this movie. Her character, in all honesty, was the most intriguing out of all of them, and you never quite understand exactly why this person's there at all, because every time that something's going on, her story kind of changes around. She just plays this extremely manipulative person that likes to play all sorts of sides and everything. So I found her character very intriguing, and in all honesty, her performance was outstanding. All of the actors do a really great job. I also like Jude Law a lot in this film. He plays the main doctor, the one who came to the island first off, and I thought he did an excellent job in his performance too. Vanessa Kirby, great job. Everyone does an outstanding performance, but in my opinion, Ana de Armas really owned it. She had a lot of fun with this movie. You can tell that she was really enjoying those moments where she got to chew that scenery up and be the spotlight of everything going on. The cinematography in this film was outstanding. I did absolutely love the look of this film. I love the fact that they really brought this island into the fold and showed off the vegetation, the wildlife, everything like that, what these people are dealing with here living on this island. So the cinematography itself was absolutely gorgeous, and I really took in all of that beautiful scenery and really enjoyed that. All in all, the story itself really was solid. It did keep me interested in things. I did not know going into this until, I read the description and everything. I didn't know that this was based off of true events. So that was really intriguing, knowing that this was real. And I don't necessarily know exactly how accurate it was, because the way this story's told is through other people that were there on the island. So whether or not these people are telling the truth, we just don't know. But this is the best account of what happened on the island that you can possibly get, and it really holds your attention to a point. It just seemed like you were almost watching two completely different movies. The first half, nature documentary about these people who are trying to survive on this island. Second half, that's when all the thriller craziness comes in. And I'm not talking about supernatural or anything like that. I'm just talking about the craziness of human nature. Because at the end of the day, that is the real story. That's the real villain of this story, is human nature. And, well, I'm just going to leave it with that. Human nature is the villain of this story, because I don't want to even give away any more spoilers, because this was an intriguing film. But if you have to ask me what my feelings are about this, while I did enjoy it, if you're somebody who does enjoy more of a dramatic thriller, don't pay attention to anyone saying that this thing is going to really suspense you or anything like that. It's just going to give you a story. But if you really enjoy a drama and with a little bit of thriller aspects in there, some nice little tense moments and all that, you're probably going to find a lot of enjoyment out of this, seeing this in theaters. But in all honesty, guys, I think most people are going to find more enjoyment from watching this film at home on streaming. It's not that it's a terrible movie, it just doesn't feel like something that's going to really pull people out there into the theaters to sit down and watch a movie like this. But if you do feel yourself being curious and you want to know about it, you just don't want to pay the ticket to admission to go to the theaters, then definitely check this movie out when it comes to streaming, because I do think it needs attention. So there you go, guys. This is unless you're a big fan of dramatic thrillers, check this one out in theaters, but be prepared for that first hour. But if you're somebody who would just rather take a movie in like this at home, go right ahead, because I do feel like this movie is definitely worth a viewing. I just don't know if it's necessarily worth it for everybody to go see this movie in the theaters and pay full admission for a ticket. So there you have it, guys. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.